Hello and welcome back to the Victory Education Lounge. I'm your host, Maurice, and today we're exploring Part 07 of our malaria series, focusing on the social consequences of malaria, particularly how it impacts education and productivity. Malaria isn't just a health issue, it deeply affects communities, creating long-term social and economic challenges. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Also, feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Have you ever wondered how a mosquito bite could potentially disrupt a child's education? Yes, you heard that right. Malaria, a disease transmitted through the bite of an infected mosquito, has a far-reaching impact on education. Let's explore this further. In regions where malaria is rampant, children often find themselves missing school due to recurring bouts of illness. Malaria, as identified by the World Health Organization, stands as a leading cause of absenteeism among school-going children. Imagine kids missing up to 60 days of school annually because of malaria. That's 2 whole months of learning opportunities lost, and with it, a significant impact on their academic performance and future opportunities. But the effects of malaria on education don't stop at absenteeism. The disease also hampers concentration and cognitive development. Even if a child makes it to school, they might struggle to focus due to lingering fatigue and anemia, both common after effects of malaria. It's like trying to absorb information while running a marathon. Not the most effective way to learn, is it? This struggle directly impacts the child's ability to learn and consequently leads to poor academic outcomes. Consider this. A study in Ghana revealed that children in rural areas who frequently fall prey to malaria score significantly lower on standardized tests compared to their peers in regions with lower malaria transmission rates. Between missing school and grappling with cognitive challenges, these children face steep barriers to their educational progress and future job prospects. This scenario is not an isolated case, but a reality for many communities, where the workforce of tomorrow is already at a disadvantage before they even begin. As we can see, malaria's impact extends far beyond health. It directly influences a child's academic performance and future opportunities. The ripple effect of this disease is far-reaching, impacting not just individuals but families, communities, and even the economy. It's a social issue that demands our attention and action. In our next segment, we'll delve into how malaria affects workforce productivity. Stay tuned. Let's take a closer look at the situation in Ghana, where malaria is a significant barrier to education. In rural areas of Ghana where malaria is rampant, children are more likely to miss school due to illness. But the impact of malaria doesn't stop at absenteeism. Even when children are able to attend school, the lingering effects of malaria, such as fatigue and anemia, can hinder their ability to concentrate, thus affecting their academic performance. A study conducted in Ghana paints a vivid picture of this reality. The researchers found that children from malaria-endemic rural areas scored significantly lower on standardized tests compared to their peers from regions with lower malaria transmission rates. In essence, the constant battle with malaria is not only keeping these children out of school, but also impeding their cognitive abilities when they are in school. But the consequences of this education gap go beyond individual students. When a large portion of children in a community are underperforming academically due to malaria, the entire community suffers. The workforce of tomorrow is compromised as these children, who will become the next generation of workers, are already at a disadvantage. They may struggle to secure good jobs and contribute to the economy, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and disease. Moreover, the ripple effects of this education gap can be felt across the country. The lower academic performance in malaria-endemic areas contributes to a wider education gap between rural and urban areas in Ghana. This disparity can lead to a socio-political imbalance, with rural communities being underrepresented in decision-making processes that affect their lives. The malaria education gap in Ghana illustrates how this disease hampers the potential of future generations. It's not just about the immediate health crisis. It's about the long-term social and economic implications for individuals, communities, and the nation as a whole. The fight against malaria, therefore, is not just a fight for health, but also a fight for education, for opportunity, and for a brighter future for all. From classrooms to workplaces, malaria's reach is pervasive. But how exactly does it affect productivity? You see, malaria has a profound impact on workforce productivity, causing substantial economic losses, especially in regions where manual labor is the primary source of income. When malaria strikes, it incapacitates workers for days, sometimes weeks at a time. This isn't just a temporary setback, it results in significant losses in productivity. For workers who rely on daily wages, each day they're too sick to work is a day without income. This loss of income doesn't just affect the individual, it ripples out, affecting entire households and economies. According to the World Bank, malaria is responsible for an estimated $12 billion in lost productivity every year. That's $12 billion that could be invested in education, infrastructure, and other vital sectors that stimulate economic growth and development. Now let's take a closer look at the agricultural sector. In many regions where malaria is rampant, agriculture is the backbone of the economy. Farmers, who are often at the mercy of the elements, are doubly afflicted when they fall ill with malaria. The disease strikes hardest during crucial planting or harvest seasons, leading to reduced crop yields and food security. A farmer laid low by malaria isn't just a person sick in bed, it's a field not tilled, a crop not harvested, a family not fed. Imagine the ripple effect that has on a community. When the workforce is weakened by illness, productivity declines, income decreases, and economic growth stagnates. And when this happens year after year, the cumulative impact can be devastating. So, when we talk about combating malaria, we're not just talking about saving lives, though that is of paramount importance. We're also talking about preserving livelihoods, about protecting economies, about ensuring a brighter future for individuals and communities alike. Clearly, malaria is not just a health crisis, it's an economic one too. In Malawi, a country heavily reliant on agriculture, the effects of malaria are particularly devastating. This is a nation where the vast majority of the population lives in rural areas and depends on farming for their livelihood. But when the specter of malaria looms large, the agricultural sector takes a significant hit. Consider the timing of malaria outbreaks. They often coincide with crucial periods in the farming calendar, such as planting and harvesting seasons. When farmers fall ill during these critical times, they miss out on sowing their crops or gathering the harvest. The immediate impact is a reduction in their household income, but the ripple effects are far more extensive. A missed planting season can lead to lower crop yields, translating into less food on the table for the farmer's family. It's not just about economics, it's about food security. And when several farmers in a community are hit by malaria, the problem escalates. This can lead to food shortages at the community level, exacerbating the challenges of poverty and malnutrition. Furthermore, the loss of productivity in the agricultural sector has broader implications for Malawi's economy. Agriculture is the lifeblood of this nation, contributing about 1/3 of the gross domestic product and employing over 80% of the workforce. When the agricultural sector suffers, the entire economy feels the pain. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the human cost. It's about the farmer who can't provide for his family, the mother who struggles to put food on the table, the child who goes to bed hungry. It's about communities grappling with the dual burden of disease and economic hardship. In the face of these challenges, it becomes clear that combating malaria is not just a health imperative. It's a socio-economic one. It's about protecting livelihoods, ensuring food security, and promoting economic stability. In Malawi, we see how malaria can threaten not just individual livelihoods, but also a community's food security and economic stability. In Nigeria, one of the countries most burdened by malaria, the disease has profound economic consequences. In this West African nation, the malaria menace is more than a health crisis. It's an economic catastrophe that stifles growth and hampers productivity. Malaria in Nigeria is a major disruptor of the workforce. Imagine the economic toll of more than 100 million days of lost work each year due to malaria. That's an astronomical number of productive hours squandered, a significant portion of the population incapacitated, and a vast amount of potential income vanished into thin air. The sectors bearing the brunt of this productivity loss are predominantly those that rely heavily on manual labor. Agriculture, trade, and construction are among the hardest hit. For instance, take the agricultural sector, where farmers are routinely sidelined by malaria during crucial planting or harvesting periods. This not only affects their personal income, but also has a ripple effect on the nation's food security and overall economic stability. In the construction and trade sectors, the story is no different. Malaria-induced absenteeism and decreased productivity contribute to project delays, increased costs, and diminished profits. But the economic impact of malaria extends beyond sectors and industries. It seeps into every facet of the economy, affecting the nation's gross domestic product. According to the World Health Organization, malaria reduces Nigeria's GDP by about 1% annually. While this might seem like a small percentage, in a country with a GDP of hundreds of billions of dollars, 1% translates into billions lost to malaria each year. The economic burden of malaria also exacerbates poverty in Nigeria. Households grappling with the disease often face high treatment costs and loss of income, pushing them further into the poverty trap. Nigeria's experience shows us that, without effective malaria control, countries can suffer significant economic setbacks. It underscores the urgent need for sustained investment in malaria prevention and control measures, not just for the sake of public health, but also for economic prosperity. So what have we learned about the social consequences of malaria? Throughout this video, we've seen how malaria disrupts education, affecting children's concentration, attendance, and overall academic performance. We've also witnessed its impact on workforce productivity, with workers losing crucial days and income to illness, leading to significant economic losses. Our case studies from Ghana, Malawi, and Nigeria have illustrated these points vividly. As we conclude Part 07 of our series, we understand that malaria is not just a health issue, but a social and economic challenge that requires our collective action. If you're passionate about making a difference, I invite you to support the fight against malaria by visiting United to Beat Malaria. You'll find the link in the description below. Together, we can help save lives and create a healthier world. Every contribution, no matter how small, brings us one step closer to a world free from malaria. Remember to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Together, we can unveil the truths about malaria and join the battle to end this global menace. Disclaimer voiceover. Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Any health-related decision should be discussed with a licensed physician. Always seek the advice of your doctor or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition.